Oh my goodness, crazy hair day. It's another crazy hair day, and I think the rooster agrees. Anyways, hello and welcome. Welcome to another ramble. Today I was thinking about our favorite topic of interest, the narcissist. And I was like, you know what? A lot of people talk about what to look for, but I was like, let's make a video on what they taught me. Let's put another spin on it because, man, I know a lot of people have a tendency to like throw shade and hate towards narcissists, but I want to throw thanks and love and understanding towards these highly misunderstood creatures. And what I mean by that, they really don't understand themselves, and that's why they operate the way they operate in the world. They don't understand themselves. They're very misunderstood. They don't understand themselves. That's why they have to, you know, use other people to regulate their emotions. That's why they have to siphon other people's energies. And that's why they will be the eternal child until they learn to grow up, because that's what they are, right? They're basically like children, literally the epitome of children in an adult's body, throwing tantrums when their needs aren't met, looking for mommy or daddy to fulfill their needs because they can't do it on their own. Probably because they had a very traumatic experience growing up and they were never taught any other way. I'm not making excuses for them, because I think on the opposite end of the spectrum, INFJs had similar upbringings, but instead of playing the victim and just kind of like admitting defeat, we just have always been fighting and striving towards self improvement and self enhancement. That's a difference. And I think that's why we have that strange magnetic pull towards one another. It's because I want to say like a narcissist is a unevolved empath. They kind of lost their way and just kind of lay down and admitted defeat before they even, I don't know, gain the strength and the determination to better themselves, whereas we decided that we wanted to turn the pain into power. We wanted to use the pain as a transformative agent to inquire in order for us to evolve, in order for us to, like, I don't know, grow on a personal, mental, emotional, spiritual level. That's a difference. Or just the same thing on opposing ends of the spectrum, I suppose. You know what I'm saying? It's like the sun and the moon, light and the dark. And I obviously don't want to harbor any resentment or grudge or um, unnecessary hate against someone who just doesn't know better. You know? Again, not making excuses. Obviously, we want to protect ourselves, but this video is going to pay homage to what I have learned through my interactions with the narcissist and why I'm grateful. Um, First and foremost, thank you, narcissist, for helping me shed light on my blind spots. Thank you for providing the contrast that I needed, so that I could see where I was erring. I take full responsibility for my participation in the unhealthy dynamic, because I was a very unhealthy, unhealed version of myself, unaware version of myself. It's like we think we've gone through this. I think that's what it is. We resonate with the traumatic childhood and upbringing, and we're like, oh my God, I know how that feels. Let me save this person from that same demise. Not knowing that we can't save them. We need to just, that's their job. That's their responsibility. It's not our responsibility to take on somebody else's karma and emotional and mental distress. That's not our job to take that on. I mean, we can certainly shed light on these things because we've been through it, but as far as doing the work, no. It's not your job, it's not your responsibility. Yeah, so thank you, Narcissist, for helping me shed light on my blind spots and providing contrast so that I could become more aware of my weak points and enhance them. You know, like boundaries, knowing my self-worth, my value. I'll get into it. The next thing is thank you, Narcissist, for, what is this? Helping me hone in on and refine my energetic reading skills. What do I mean by that? Hone in on and refine my energetic reading skills. So basically, the projection, the mirroring, the mental emotional manipulation, being able to like upgrade my discernment and differentiation skill set. What I mean by that is differentiation, like what's your energy, what's my energy, instead of being so enmeshed. I think when we love something, we have a tendency to absolutely lose ourselves in the subject of interest, and so much so that it's hard to differentiate where our energy and their energy meets or ends because it's so enmeshed. We do that. It's like, oh, I love you so much that let me just enmesh my energy with yours. And then now I can't tell who is who, Yeah, so they've taught me, like a lot of it. A lot of the interaction and interplay is basically projection, and it goes both ways. They're projecting, at first they project and mirror yourself back at you to entice you, to trick you, to pull you in, to catch you, right? And then afterward, they get you like hooked. It's just like the projection starts, it's just like, well, and the blame shifting, and this is your fault. This is not my fault. Like, oh, like you're always like doing this wrong, and just the projection. But we get better and better at recognizing the mirroring and the projection and the mental and emotional manipulation. And again, we are more adept at discerning and differentiating where energy meets and ends and begins. It's like, oh, okay, this is not my stuff. This is your stuff. This is my. You get what I'm saying? So thank you, Narcissist, for helping me to fine tune that aspect of myself. Another thing that the narcissist absolutely helped me with was healing my abandonment issues and self-regulation. Because I think like when you are in emotional distress, narcissists probably aren't going to be there to coddle you or to help you or support you during that time because they can't even do that for themselves. So at some point you get put into situations where it's like, okay, I have no one to depend on but myself and the Most High. So like eventually you kind of like unravel everything and you realize, okay, I need to regulate myself because nobody is going to do that for me. They can obviously distract me for a little bit. They can obviously, maybe help me ease through the process, but in most cases they don't. So it's just like you're stuck on your own trying to figure out how to emotionally regulate yourself, mentally regulate yourself, spiritually regulate yourself, and physically regulate yourself, because nobody else is doing it for you. And thank God for that, because then you'd be a codependent. If I were to be completely honest, that's why narcissists and empaths are usually in codependent relationships, because one, they haven't healed their abandonment issues. Two, they both don't know how to self-regulate. Self-regulation is so important, guys. Yeah, and I mean, you can't expect a narcissist to regulate you when they can't even regulate themselves. That's why they have you, right? And that's why it's a very unhealthy dynamic. Thank you, Narcissist. for helping me to recognize my wants versus my needs. What do I mean by that? It's like I want you to get better. I want this relationship with you. I want things to work out, but I don't need any of those things to be complete on my own. And since I don't need it, then I can leave at any time because it's not a necessity. It's just an expectation. It's just a want versus a need, if that even makes sense. It's like once you realize that it's like you don't need the relationship, you don't need to be mistreated, you don't need this person to regulate you, you want that, you can walk away, and it's not really a big deal. Thankyou Narcissist for helping me recognize my value and where I should be investing my time, energy, and attention. Certainly, if I am unhealthy, I'm going to invest it in you. But once I start getting healthy and I realize how toxic this is, then I'm realizing that this is a net negative emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially, physically. It's just a net negative, and I absolutely deserve to be at a positive, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna leave. I don't need you. I want you. And at this point, I don't even want you until you become healthy yourself. And maybe it takes me leaving to get you to recognize that. And if you don't, that's not my responsibility or my problem. I wish you all much love and peace. I hope you find that peace within yourself. I hope you learn how to regulate yourself, because it's not my job anymore. Another thing the narcissist has taught me is self-love, because obviously I was looking for love in all the wrong places. And I think you have too. Yeah, I was looking for this narcissist to provide love. This narcissist can't even provide love for himself, and again, not our responsibility, not our job. It's like we had to go through the trial and errors of life on our own to figure it out, and they need to too. They're basically literally like the infant version of the empath. It's like we use our like trauma and we use it to like, I don't know, like help others. They use the trauma to hurt others. Get it? It's like the same thing, but less maturity, less evolution, less awareness on opposing ends of the stick. So basically, when you like get drawn to them, it's like you see yourself in them. You see where you were at one point. I mean, maybe not in this lifetime, maybe in previous lifetimes you were like a narcissist, and then you realize, oh man, this isn't working. This is hurting me, this is hurting others. Let me like use my trauma for good, Narcissists also taught me interdependency, not hyper independency or codependency, interdependency. It's like I am okay doing things on my own, but I also notice the importance and value of also working alongside other people who have common goals. It's like, it's not, I can do it all myself. I don't need anyone, or I need you. It's kind of like I can do both. It's like I can do this on my own, but I can also work alongside others and accept help. Maybe this person has a skill set that I am not like the best at, and they can either balance it out by doing their part and I do my part, or we can learn from each other and evolve together, Also, thank you, Narcissist, for helping me to break cycles, break unhealthy cycles, habits, addictions, mental constructs. Thank you. You know, thank you. So yeah, this is a thank you to the narcissist. I don't know if most people can like appreciate this video. You know, they're probably in that healing phase where they're still like processing anger and resentment, as they should, because, you know, by all means, being in a relationship with a narcissist is soul breaking. You know, it like breaks you down to nothing. But I like to think of us as phoenixes that rise from the ashes, you know, to be reborn again. So yeah, thank you, narcissist. Thank you for being you. And I hope one day you learn how to regulate yourself, how to generate your own energy. And hopefully when you heal and process all the hurt that you have been holding on to, you know, you will also be a transformative agent in the world. I like to put that out there. You know, I believe everyone can heal in their own time, in their own space. Let's put that out there, you know. Anyways, if you learned something from this video, cool. If you didn't, that's cool too, you know. Thank you for stopping by. Blessings to one and all. Amen. Oh, they also taught me how to forgive and to just kind of like leave the past in the past and not look forward to any particular future, because I'm going to be very present, because that's where all the magic happens. If that even makes sense. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, I'm sorry. I could explain it, but okay, I will explain it. Okay, so the narcissist, I think for me, like the recovery process, it took me a long time to release not only the negative things from the past, the negative like the emotional abuse and manipulation that occurred. I also, there were some good times, you know, some good times that had me heavily tied to the connection, you know, but they taught me that, you know, holding on to those things really prevents me from moving forward, you know, because you get kind of stuck, you get trapped in these memories. But also, like, I want to say giving yourself false hope about a future also binds you. So it's just like I didn't want to be bound by the past or the future. So I just decided that the most peace was found just being profoundly present. And the narcissist taught me that. So thank you, narcissist. You were like probably the best teacher I ever had, as far as like dying and being reborn to see life through a whole new lens, and also self-empowerment, self-illumination, self-regulation. Thank you. Thank you. Anyways, blessings to one and all. Amen.